All right, guys. Well, welcome to this month's Q&A. So glad you guys are joining us. Savannah and I are probably a little bit tired, and because we are coming off a huge sales day. This was our biggest one-day sales day that was not a Saturday ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah, we just ran the numbers for today. Today we hit over 10K in sales, which is pretty awesome because we definitely ran up some credit card bills over the last fall and winter, and those have to be paid next week.
Out of a few jams.
Yes, as it were, with jam.
People making jam.
We're not making jam. People are making jam. But yeah, so it was a huge day for us here on the farm. We are navigating, picking. You can. Do you want to come sit with Dad?
She's got her little mouth tape on.
Yeah.
Looks like a little frog.
You want to show people that you're a little frog? Why do you have the mouth? Why do you wear the mouth tape? You don't know? You don't know? All right.
It's supposed to help you keep your mouth shut.
It's supposed to help you keep your mouth shut, and it does help her sleep better, guys.
It does.
Yes. I mean, it's interesting. She probably goes to sleep at least twice as fast.
Yeah, I mean, not right now, but.
Yeah. All right. So let's get the questions answered, guys. But yeah, so we are officially in strawberry season. It kind of came a little.
No, you gotta keep it on.
You gotta keep it on. And you want to go watch with your brother and sister? If you want to go do that, that's fine, I guess. Okay. She's gone. So back to where we were. We are officially in strawberry season. We started picking
Monday.
Didn't we do some picking Friday? A little bit of picking Friday? Or was that?
Oh, just for the store. I picked a little bit Friday, but that was just like.
So yeah, we officially started picking. You picked Monday.
Yeah.
Today I think we did around, I don't know how many pounds of berries, but it was probably 700 to 900 pounds of berries. Now it's interesting, our pricing. So
Can we look that up, the poundage of berries?
What?
We can look that up.
Yeah, but the problem is it's both farms.
Right.
So
I just mean
yeah,
we can't get it.
We raised our price this year, and we raised our ticket price this year. So in previous years, we've charged $3 for a ticket, and we've eaten the processing fee, which was about $1, because the ticket company charges a set fee, not a percentage. And so basically, we raised the price to basically be $3, and then and charge them the processing fee. So it was $4.50. $4.25 around there for the ticket. And we have now done. I just looked the other day. We've now done $1,500 in just ticket sales.
But those are crucial for organizing our U-Pick. We don't have the capacity to park or manage.
Yeah.
Just an onslaught of people. Like, I wish it could be more of just like we're open for U-Pick, but then it's madness, and it's no fun for anybody.
Yeah. Just
the way we're set up.
And the other thing is, what I tell people is that the cost of the ticket allows us to fund a very clean, easy picking experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, like, we literally got a guy out today making sure that the rows were free of weeds, and pulling all the make sure there's no thistles in the field and all that.
Because those are like little kids run into those.
Yeah.
That's yucky.
So I would say that one of the huge things that if you go to our Facebook page and just read all the comments, yeah, she's a cute frog. People were consistently saying it was easy picking. We were in and out. As fields are so clean and not muddy. And so again, we spend the money to make sure that that is a good experience for them. And the ticket sales pay for that. And we've definitely paid over $1,500 in labor to keep those clean. But what I will say is that by the end of the season, it will probably have covered that budget for us.
Well, and you don't have to do that every time. Usually you can get the big weeds up, and then maybe a few other times you have to go check stuff.
So, and then price per pound went up too.
Well, yeah, because
everything's gone up. Labor's gone up. Everything's gone up. But I would say, again, we were dealing with the neop disease, and so there definitely has been some. We've definitely seen some of that.
Yeah, and what that one lady say that picked on Monday, she was like, they had picked at another farm I don't know where that farm
There's someone
was.
else, yeah, down in like Hamilton or something.
Yeah, down south. And that guy was like, if you see any farm doing any kind of
You pick.
go, because
Yeah.
it's just not like so many popular places around us are not doing you pick.
Yes.
They usually do.
Yeah. So yeah, one of our biggest competitors down by Cincinnati, they have, I think they're only doing pre-pick for the store. I don't think they have any U-pick this year at all.
Yeah.
So.
I just wonder how they're managing all that.
What?
Picking.
They have H2A.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a crew of H2A.
Sure.
Yeah, but berries are looking good. We are definitely seeing some disease. We're just praying for no rain, because obviously rain aggravates all of that.
We've gotten a little bit of rain every day.
Yes,
Almost.
unfortunately, yeah, we've had the rain. We happen to have it out there spraying the organic fungicides to try to put it at bay. But we are definitely seeing some gray mold in the field.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not sure if we didn't, and we have done like 2 or 3 sprays for that. I'm not sure if we're just not putting it down heavy enough. One of the things that's in the budget for this coming year is a full boom sprayer, which will allow us to do a really good job of covering the berries. So the goal would be that will help with next year.
Yeah, because it could just be the application that is just not getting
correct, and that's the thing with that is that you really have to envelop everything. Everything has to be soaked with that. And so again, we're putting it on with backpack blowers, which means we're only putting about 30 gallons of water an acre, which is very, very low. We'd like to be, especially with what we're spraying, we'd like to be up to more than 100 gallons an acre. And unfortunately, if you're spraying an acre of berries, that means the guys are using 25 backpack spray trips.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. They were out there sweating, crushing it. They're doing a great job. But yeah, that 25 pounds is 25 trips would be a lot.
That is a lot.
So, yeah, we do what we can.
There was this lady out today who was like, she was an elderly lady, and she's like, you've got berries that are really decaying out in those little puddles in the plastic. And I was like, yes, we know. Like, we're doing our best. I would be like, do you want to come drain all the puddles for us?
Yes, yeah. But that's a good thing to think about is that that's why good bed fill is so important.
Like the plastic
hey, Lisa.
gets a little.
Yes, basically you don't have good bed fill. So again, you want to make sure you get your cover crops taken down early enough, get all that sod worked in, and so you can get really nice friable soil and fill those beds. And in all honesty, strawberries is a really rough system, especially the annual bed weed system on the soil, on the fields, because you're making a big bed, you're moving a lot of soil around, you're destroying a lot of mycorrhizal highways. So again, that is something that we do after we make beds, turn that water back on, and we inject a lot of prebiotics and mycorrhizae and just
is that some of the stuff that's being sprayed?
Yeah, but the stuff where it's more because we're injecting it, trying to get into the soil.
Oh.
So Patrick, so we do so during this growing season, we are using some organic fungicides. So we're using things like actinovate, Howler is another organic one, Osmo is another one, organic fungicide. I forget what else they were spraying this week, but again, these are OMRI certified, and we definitely are following the re-entry time frame and all of that. With the nutrition sprays, we are doing some nutrition sprays. We are using some AEA products right now, mainly micro nutrients, cobalt, iron, manganese, a few other ones, boron, one we're low in. So we're definitely doing that right now, just making sure the bears. We've actually had to hit them with magnesium sulfate, which is Epsom salts. Because our nitrogen is a little too high, and so we're trying to drive that down. So, but yeah, it's kind of it's one of those things. The more deeper organic you go, and the more you build the soil, the less sprays you typically have to use. Unfortunately, with that field, it's been farmed conventionally for hundreds of years, and so we're just now bringing it off conventional and bringing it back into organic. And so part of that is, we're looking at the aluminum levels. When we bring those fields out, the first year we bring the fields out of production, conventionally, our aluminum and chloride are through the roof because those are very, very high in conventional fertilizers. And so here on the home farm, our aluminum level keeps dropping. Now, the aluminum level in our water is also high. And the reason for that is because the thousands of acres of farming around us, the water goes right down to the aquifer, and we pull the aluminum back up. So it's definitely a challenge, and we are working through it. All right, let's get down to your questions, guys, because you guys got some good ones. 10 Acre Garden says, I've got cutoffs late in October after we flooded from Helene. Performed very poorly over the winter. I'm going to keep them for another year. Any thoughts? You can keep them for another year, but what I would say is that they perform very poorly for you. I would just pull and redo, because I'm not sure if you're maybe seeing some challenges just with making beds and all of that with just the flooding, and you just need to kind of get a whole new system going, retest your soil, figure out what's going on, and re-push a new patch through. I also don't know exactly where you're located. Late October is pretty late. So I'm also seeing a B scenario here where what you do is you got them in super late and you're just wondering, it's kind of just fruit them another year. If your plants look good at the end of this season, there's no reason you can't fruit them again. You're going to see them later. You have smaller berries.
Well, he got
more disease.
Helene, he's going to be in North Carolina.
A lot of places got flooded.
Kentucky,
North Carolina, Tennessee.
Oh, that's true.
So yeah, interested in if you could add that to that, more details on that, that'd be awesome. Patrick saying, if you're setting up a strawberry U-pick farm in North Texas, what are the best times to run this and for how long? Well, North Texas, you're probably going to be February into March maybe for your U-pick season. I'm not exactly sure what zone you're going to be in. It really depends on the type of berries you have. So like a Chandler, you're going to be 3 to 4 weeks for a pick season. If you are with like a Ruby June, you can go as long as 8 weeks. So it really kind of depends on what you're looking at, what you're dealing with, what your soils are like. Lighter soils, heavier soils, give you a little bit different aspects there, and your organic matter too, soil health in general too. So interesting, Patrick, but we do have a strawberry course, masterclass course, where we go through a lot of that. So I give you all a little more details if you're interested in that. I think you can go to growingfarmers.com and look around there. There should be some information over there. Are you guys using insect netting for brassicas? We do. If not, what do your spray schedule look like for those? Yeah, so we do use insect netting for brassicas. Right now, we haven't seen any flea beetles yet. Obviously, that's not because we're doing anything special. It's just because they haven't shown up yet. I'm sure they'll be here in another week or so. We've got an early planting of potatoes that looks beautiful right now. Also an early planting of radishes and turnips that look really good. We do all of our arugula starting in like April in the greenhouse in trays. We don't sell a lot of it, and so we just grow it as a large microgreen on trays.
So yummy though.
The full size?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do it in the wintertime.
Yeah.
We used to feel bad of that, but yeah. You're running on arugula for avoiding the flea beetle. So Pyganic and then Trust are really your biggest aspects there, and unfortunately, they're both not cheap. And the other thing I would highly recommend is anywhere you're planting brassicas, you're also putting out the nematodes, because what eventually happens is the nematodes eventually will kill all the flea beetles. As long as you're not next to a huge rape field or something like that, that is a brassica, and that will just create like unreal amounts of
what did you say, rape?
Yeah, or canola.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. That can definitely cause some issues. And but if you're not around that, you're pretty isolated, and the flea beetle's just there because of you. Nematodes all the way, and eventually you will completely get rid of them.
And you get nematodes from Arbico Organics?
Arbico Organics, the IPM folks in New York, IPM Labs in New York is also a great place. I think they're on Long Island. But they work, and you can irrigate them on. We actually irrigate them on, or you can just backpack spray them on and then irrigate them in, and they're relatively simple. Jane says, I've already seen some cabbage moths flying around. Yes, Dipel works great for cabbage moths, which reminds me, we probably need to check for caterpillars this week on the broccoli. So yeah, actually, I think our first flush of caterpillar moths was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. So now I'm thinking, I was standing with Mike talking about it. So yes, we're gonna check. I haven't seen a lot in the greenhouse, which is kind of surprising.
They're just like little white spots, yeah.
Yes, there's little white moths you see flying around. Patrick is saying, where do you grab stuff like that for sprays? Patrick, we've got a guy, David, in the Carolinas, who does that. Let me see if I can find his info. Yes, I will get that information for you. He would welcome some more people to sell to. But good guy. He definitely knows the strawberries. David Dykus. He works for a place called FCI, and his mobile number is 910-904-3709. You can tell him Michael sent you, and you're looking for. He's got all the different ones. He's got a fair amount of organics. He may not have all of them. The other ones we are getting maybe from Knowles. Knowles carries some of them. And then, again, if you just the specific ones you're looking for, you can always search online and find a place for that. All right, so Nature Hill Farms, do you keep your plants for 2 years? When is the best time to plant for best production? We do not. We keep for a year, and this year, yes, this year every single strawberry we can find on the farm is disappearing. So,
what did you say the other day? We're going scorched earth on the strawberry.
Yes. So, let me think. So like on the side of the greenhouse from the last patch, there's a few plants just growing along there. They're going to be gotten rid of.
A bunch that they're just like
in our yard.
I'm just on our front herb bed.
Yes, we've got a ton of berries there. Those are going to be all pulled out. We have wild strawberries on the farm that we pulled out. And the reason for that is that that we want to make sure that for this neop disease, any host anywhere possible is gone. The goal is actually also to grow strawberries or strawberry plugs at another facility. So there's another facility about 20, 25 minutes north of here, which we're going to see if we can lease some greenhouse space from, or even field space, and grow them there. I mean, I probably could just find like anybody, anyone that's got a couple acres of ground.
What are you talking about right now?
It's greenhouse operation.
Oh.
I need to get in touch with them.
You haven't talked to them about this?
No. But they have greenhouses empty that time of year, so it might make sense for them. We just got to figure it out. They do custom growing, so I think they'd probably be open to it. But anyway, yeah. So we're looking at growing all plugs off-site. Again, the goal is to just starve this disease out and be gone.
So if you see the disease off-site, we're then either getting rid of that material, or it's just not going to be on farm.
Well, if we saw it off-site, then we've had a major issue, because that means literally the only remaining nursery in the U.S. is now infected with it.
Oh.
And so, and that's sad for every strawberry grower in the U.S.
And we're just going to be doing things to the soil to try to amend.
Yeah. So I mean, you definitely can see the disease out there, and it really depends on the level of infection. So like some areas are way more infected than others. And like you'll have like some plants that are like 3 leaves and a big beautiful berry. Put out 1 flower, stuck in a big beautiful berry, and that was it.
Did you post that picture?
No, but
it was right before Mother's Day, and I was like, that plant
gave it all.
Is a mother. And that plant gave up its life for that one giant berry.
Well, I could go ahead and pull up. I think it's probably up here. I'll go ahead and pull it up so folks can see. I'll just put my photos.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm yawning so much. I just sat down.
So yeah, we pull them for 1 year, and it is sad. Now there's a slight side hustle at the end of the strawberry season. You can sell people plants for $1, and they will come out. They will dig up the plants. Now, what I will tell you is it's the end of June. These plants are tired. They have massive amount of leaf structure, and people are digging them up, taking them home, and trying to get them to start. And we say we have no guarantees. They're more than happy to come just get what's going on. And if people do that, I do recommend just chopping all the leaves off and planting basically the roots. But people will buy them. I mean, one year we probably sold a couple hundred.
Well, yeah, that gal who worked for us over the vocals. They took a bunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how well they've done multiple years out, but
Correct. Yes.
you often say they're more productive the second year.
Well, they you just get smaller berries or later, and again, some people that do some people that do the annual bed system do keep, like, they do multiple fields, and one field they will keep for a second season because they know it is going to be later. It's going to be a little bit smaller berries, but that's fine with them. So we are, we're trying to do. We're tight on space. We're just trying to turn them through. So yeah, but
it does help that we can clean them up really nicely. I just
yeah,
feel like
and that's the other thing. If you're a conventional farm and you do have access to conventional fungicides and herbicides, it makes keeping berries second year much easier. Which comes down to the next question, Patrick, yours, as you mentioned, the cover crop between them. We are right now. Last year we used TEF. We really thought TEF worked really well. We probably will use it again. We need to kind of really work on our timing. Our timing was off this year. We had some too early and some too late. So if we can nail the timing, and then I think what we're also going to do is put Dutch white clover with the TEF, and I think we're going to love it. We're going to really love that system. And so then basically we're growing cover crop between the berries. Now, you will going to have to put a lot of water down and a lot of nutrients because that clover is going to just go after some of that too. But I think that, ideally we would put straw down between everything. And we have done that this year. Straw actually looks really good.
It does, yeah.
The problem is straw is incredibly expensive. And so we kind of got burned a bit last year with buying overpriced straw. I mean, it was good, but it was overpriced. So this year we're growing definitely.
So overpriced that you're like, we're putting this on the ground.
Yes, exactly. We're buying this and we're putting this on the ground. Yes. Had to pause for a minute. Western North Carolina was a cold winter. They did not develop many crowns. Yeah, so if you're Western North Carolina, you really should be beginning of October. So you're a little late for there. Yeah, I mean, if you want to run a second year, you can do that. Someone else, are you using AEA product for tomato production as well? Yeah, I think the tomatoes have a spray schedule too. I got to talk to one of my guys about that. He's the one that's been implementing that, which reminds me, he probably needs to spray tomorrow.
Facebook Live and a to-do list.
Yeah, I know we're low on phosphorus in those, which is always true with tomatoes. Potassium, low on potassium in there.
Potassium. When do you plant an entire space?
All right, so the question. Oh, but let's get to these pictures here, so I can pull up these pictures.
I don't think that they're late though. We haven't done our.
Oh yeah, here's that one picture.
Here's the mother.
Share screen. Window. There we go. Yeah, so there you go. There's that one. That is a classic, classic neop disease. It's struggling. It's trying to grow. It just keeps getting knocked back by the fungus. Let's see what else we got here for you guys.
A lot of pictures of Elsa's head.
Yes, we let the kids take the camera sometimes, and that can be a challenge.
Is that neop?
This is part of our strawberry field. This is part of the least field. It's about a third of it. So you can see that does look really nice. I climbed up on John's roof to take that.
The barn roof?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so this whole field here is where next year's strawberries is going to be. We're doing 2 sections. They're all going to be over there. Yeah, so just a few more pictures of this. I am not 100% sure if this is neop.
Because it's on a lot of berries.
It could. There's other strawberry diseases,
Sure.
and this could be that. I just haven't had a chance to look and research that.
It doesn't affect the flavor of the berry at all.
Yeah, it doesn't have a classic neop look, so that's why I'm thinking. But same field, beautiful berries too. So berries are nice. This was home farm. This was picking Chandlers and Ruby Junes.
There was a lady who came to pick. She goes, "I want those Chandlers that Michael was talking about." She wanted to make sure I put her in a Chandler section.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Where they were?
It was just funny.
Because the Chandlers are right up against the row this side. There's 7 rows of Ruby June. Then you get a row of some Caminos over there, and then you have the Chandlers.
Yeah.
And they are. I mean, it's some of the best Chandlers we've had. So yeah, here you go. This is what we're looking at right now. I mean, you can just see the amount of fruit on those. I mean, it's like almost like a pint per plant. That's right
Yeah.
now on some of
Sometimes
those.
there are certain sections that you literally just sit there and fill your pints.
Yeah, yeah.
It's-
I think we filled a flat in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Maria did 12 pints in 10 minutes. So yeah, this is a picture of the, okay, so this is a great picture right here, where this side of the field, right, these are all Chandlers, and then these are all the Ruby Junes over here.
The color of the plant's different.
Yep. Chandler's, Ruby June's a darker green, Chandler's lighter green. All right,
Ruby Junes are great though too.
so the Ruby June is a very interesting plant, is I was told, we can stop sharing this.
We can, but also I don't want to skip over the
Yes,
when you plant.
yes.
Nature Hill Farms.
So we plant in September, October. So in our course, again, it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
Here in Ohio, we are planting late August. Down in the Carolinas, going to be into October. Down in Texas, even later. Florida, it's a whole other story. We do not cover Florida in the course because, again, California and Florida are the strawberry growing areas of the U.S.
You guys don't need any help.
you've got your extension are properly educated there. So yeah, we plant. No, if you're in 6A, oh, he's in 6A. So then he is a bit warmer than us. So I would say you can plant September. And so these are plug plants. So you're going to plant basically plugs, and you can buy plugs from different places. We do sell plugs. We do ship plugs across the nation. We shipped this year Illinois, New York, Texas.
Well, we shipped to the Carolinas because remember we.
Actually, no, that guy canceled his order.
Oh, he did.
He had a massive order for me, 3 pallets of plants. No, he canceled because we got our nursery got neop. And even though and actually it was a blessing in disguise because we wouldn't have had his plants anyway. But I think he wanted like 12,000 plants. So yeah, Nature Hills Farm, you can plant this fall. You can go grab that strawberry course, watch it, and then plant this fall, and you'll be all set. Variety is Fronteras, not my favorite, but okay. So Fronteras is an absolute beautiful berry. It's huge. It's beautiful. It looks great in a pint. The customers love to pick it, but they do not love to eat it.
Those are the ones that are like almost. They can get as big as your palm.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're California berries.
But they're just not tasty.
Yes. So we grow a row for pictures. Truly. Although the Ruby Junes this year were so big too that it almost made no difference. Yeah. Actually, I was talking to my tip supplier, and he's given me a whole list of new varieties that I haven't grown yet. Where did he say? Where is it? Here we go. He's doing San Andreas, Monarch, Surfline, and Warrior. And then Sensation, Brilliance, Flavor Fest. We also got Keepsake. So he's got a bunch of California varieties, and I really want to grow them just because I think they're going to be big, beautiful berries. And they probably won't taste very good, but again, they're just fun to try a bunch of things. So yeah, I mean, our favorite right now is going to be Chandler. To me, there's no berry that tastes better than Chandler. Chandler is the absolute best flavor of any berry out there.
And they can get pretty big sometimes, not always, but.
Now, Chandler's, the problem is there's a lot of leaf. So this year we planted on 16-inch instead of 12-inch.
That's been very helpful.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I absolutely love it. We did it because of the disease pressure.
But it doesn't feel like you have you're having to like lift up and like.
Yeah, you can pick faster.
Yeah, you can.
So while it takes more space, I think that our speed of harvest is, I mean, people are coming out of the field, they're out there 15 minutes and they come out with 15 pounds.
Right. I mean, we always know the excellent pickers, I'm like, you have a summer job if you wanted.
Yes. Well, spring job.
It's spring job.
But Chandler's just top notch.
Yeah.
Ruby June is beautiful, big berries. And Ruby June can go as long as 8 weeks.
And they taste good.
Yeah, they're good. Camino, this year they've been quite nice. It's with anything. A good year, they're good. A good year just amplifies the goodness, and a bad year just amplifies the poorness. So in a bad year, the Chandlers are so-so, and the Camino Reals are bleh. In a great year, the Chandlers are sublime and just like money. And then the other ones just are like
fire. I think that's the word you're looking for. They're fire. No.
Yeah, we can. With Nature's Hill Farm, we can definitely hook to the. They may have it closed right now. I'll let you know. I'll have Cassandra send out an email. Just 10 Acre Garden did it. Awesome. I'll have to make sure to link to it. Patrick's asking, did you have to toss the plants once they have this, or can you salvage it? No, Patrick. Once you have the disease, the neopiothelosis, I think is how it's pronounced. We call it neop for
Neop.
well, actually, what did I say? I coined a new term when I was talking to. I think I was talking to Zach about it. Let me see what I said to Zach. Nope, it wasn't Zach. There's somebody else. Anyway, but yeah, once you have the neop disease, you're done. You just get rid of the plants, sanitize, clean. Some people even say throw away your row covers. Now this year our goal is to get a steamer, and if we can get a steamer, we'll just put all the row covers in a shipping container and steam it and cook them for a bit. Because actually, and it's really interesting, if you take the, this is something we learned at the conference. There's some people messing around with taking the strawberry tips and like heating them to a specific temperature and holding them there for a certain amount of time. It doesn't kill the plant material, but it kills the fungus. Okay, so anyway, I'm not 100% sure. We don't think this is commercially viable because I think the cost of getting that very specific, it's not on thousands it probably work, on tens of thousands and millions it's not going to work, I don't think. But then always, anyway, there was some research on that. This DOP really hit the industry really hard this year.
That
So
kind of doesn't make sense though, because the neop I thought it came alive, if you will, in like humid, hot.
correct, but we're
climates.
talking when we're talking like 100. Again, don't quote me.
I'm not
Because,
quoting you.
but I think we're looking at like 120, 130, 140 times.
But that doesn't kill plants.
Again, there was a lot of going back and forth about this, but it was really interesting research, and I do have the name of the person that was doing the research.
That's totally fine. I just
Yes.
I'm externally processing
Yeah,
this information.
yeah.
What would you grow in between the rows, 10 acre garden up there at the top?
What cover crop do you have on next year's field? Okay, great question. So we had a cover crop fail on us because we were so dry in September. So we lost most of it. We came in and spring seeded oats in the field, and the oats came up okay, but we weren't able to drill them. We just we had about a 4 to 5 day window of rain coming up, so we just overseeded them over the entire field. Most of them dropped down in, some of them grew. But what is growing there is a great amount of dandelions. The sweet clover that came from the last one actually did quite good. And the reason it did is it's very small seed and it fell into the small little cracks in the soil and germinated. So sweet clover is coming in pretty good. And we love sweet clover because it has a great big taproot, goes down really deep, and breaks the compaction up. We have compaction in that field because it's been no-till for forever. So that's what we got. But the cover crop we did was a 10-way mix. We actually now sell it. It's our own mix. We'll be selling it this year in the store. But it's, I've got to get out there. And I did a video on it with one of my our video guy, but I'm going to have to get out there and get you some pictures and stuff because the cover crop now is a solid mass. That's have you been back there and seen how nice it is? It's solid 4 or 5 feet tall. It's just massive.
Kids were playing back there.
Oh dear. It's got vetch in it. We do put a fair amount of vetch in it. Crimson clover, some oats, some triticale, some fall killed stuff, winter kill, like we do a fair amount of daikon. And the reason we do daikon in this mix is the daikon actually grows really well in the fall when everything else is really small. And so it kind of looks like you just have a field of daikon. But what happens is then the daikon just completely wipes out in the wintertime. And then you've got all this beautiful space with all these other small ones, and they just pop up. But yeah, I've never been as impressed with the cover crop as this one. This one's just, it's absolutely stunning this year and looking good. At the home farm, because the home farm, we got it in a little bit earlier. We had a nice rain spell. It made it work.
What's the cover crop over at John's?
It's the same thing.
It's the same, it just doesn't look as good.
No, it looks not anywhere near, because it's just didn't get enough any rain.
Sure.
Even though we did.
I mean, it doesn't look bad.
No, but
It's not as good.
oh dear God, no. There's a lot of weeds. Um, that's interesting. The channels in that picture look awesome. Yeah, Patrick, the picture looks good. Now, if I went out there and took a video and showed you like the individual areas where I can tell the neop is, so the goal was last year not plant, they only plant like 50 plants that had neop. We planted a very short period of the plants that came from that, and you can actually kind of see where it kind of looks like it's creeping across the field almost a little bit. It's that bad. So again, we took one for the team just to kind of see how it would do in an organic setting. Now, I will say, I felt for an organic setting, it did great. We had we're facing have a decent strawberry, still a really good strawberry season. I never say good strawberry season until it's over.
And
because you never know.
Never happy.
No, I'm not. I'm never happy. That is true. Yeah. I will say we did talk about this year.
I'm so glad you're admitting it.
We did talk this year about and I think the email they did send out that we talked fertility, because we have changed up fertility this year in the berries, and I think that is going to be a little bit of a thing that's a thing that is we did change. So last year we didn't put down any like pre-plant fertilizer. We really focused on the Eden Blue Gold stuff. The problem we found with that is, again, the guys there are great. They gave us some really great advice on some challenges we were having. But the problem is their whole thing is get a plant in the ground and then do these very frequent sap tests. And then you micro treat the plant with little bits of fertility just to keep the plant where it's supposed to go. The problem with that is sap tests are very expensive. And if you're spending $100 a week on sap tests, that gets incredibly expensive, especially for a small farm like us. If you're running 25 acres of strawberries, who cares, what $150 a week is? That's nothing. But when you're running, 100-foot bed of celery and you spend $100 on one sap test, you've instantly changed the profitability of that crop. So what we're doing now is we're making sure we're just sourcing very clean organic fertilizers. So again, we're not using chicken compost in the tunnels. We're using like soybean meal. Even feather meal is okay because it has a lot less salts than manures do. But then we are doing some strategic sap tests. So for the beginning of the season, we took 5 sap tests because we had 5 different sections of strawberries. After the second one, we looked at the tap test and we're like, okay, all of these are trending the exact same. So we've gone to 2, one for the home farm, one for the rented farm. And so we've cut our cost 60% now. So again, we're strategically using sap tests, clean nutrients, some biochar, and we're steering things instead of using, but doing a lot more pre-plant fertility and sulfate of potash, some of the good fertilities as well. We've completely gotten rid of Chilean nitrate. We're using aminos at this point. Aminos is very expensive. It's far more expensive than a Chilean. But what I would say is aminos is far more powerful. The almost instantaneous effect of that nitrogen on the crop is mind blowing. And the way aminos works is it bypasses. It doesn't have to be turned from nitrate to nitrate. It's already in the preferred form of the plant, and so. I'm just always trying to remember the difference between the nitrate and the nitrite. But yeah, that's what we're using for fertility. We seem to be happy. The berries look good. We will continue to be doing some sap tests. With us, the berry crop is so big, we're really focused on we will be doing biweekly sap tests. Like we have one coming up. I think we'll be running them in maybe Monday. I don't think the labels will come till Monday, but we will definitely be running again. All right, down we go. Patrick's asking, crazy permaculture question. Can you run animals in between the beds in the off-season apple fertility? Patrick, you could. The problem with animals is you're going to get a lot of raw nutrients. And you never know if some animal's going to poop in one spot and then those berries are going to have way more nitrogen than the rest, which needed it too. So what we like to do, our preferred method with all of this, is either run the bedding pack into a compost pile and apply the compost, or we run a strong cover crop with animals mowing that to the ground, plow it under, and then the strawberries go in the second year. So we try to keep those a little bit separate. And the other thing we're always looking at is food safety too. So keeping that 120-day rule. Again, you don't want to be the subject of a USDA inquiry. Those never are fun. Nature Hills Farm. Do you sell more than just strawberries during a strawberries event? Oh, do we ever? And that is very clear in our course. So we lay out the entire strawberry profit plan. I thought at one point out there we were not going to be able to keep the slushy machine full.
There was a sweaty moment.
Yes, we're literally, the strawberry machine was empty. We were pouring in and mix as fast as possible, and we couldn't freeze it fast enough.
Well, and then I thought, gosh, do we just get rid of the apple cider one?
And just do 2 strawberries.
Yeah, but there's a couple people who always get apple cider, and they're
Yes,
very sad
they love
it's
it.
not there.
Yes, and the interesting thing, guys, too, the apple cider doesn't have any sugar in it. So for us that are trying to be more conscious of our health, and we don't even want, even if it's pure, 100% pure organic cane sugar, we don't want that. The apple cider slushy is good for us.
Right. I mean, it's very sweet.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fruit. Sugar.
But yes, I mean, the sky is the limit. You have merch. I mean, my T-shirt is some of the merch right here. You know, feeling very good. We sell T-shirts. We sell.
I mean, we have a bakery, so we sell shortcakes. We sell pound cakes. We've sold.
We're gonna do the strawberry
rolls.
No, the strawberry Rice Krispie treats.
Are we doing that?
We've got to do those. Those were absolutely amazing.
Those were. I forgot about those.
Those were so good.
The problem is I can't find I mean, Dandy's is fine, but I can't find a clean Rice Krispie that actually does like the Rice Krispie thing.
Correct.
It's like you have to just use regular Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
Which have seed oils in them.
Someone's asking, speaking of rain, any initial thoughts on Sumo Soaker? Feeling like a big thing. Pondering reaching out to MSCS. It was a fun to trial. I use Mega Nets currently. Yeah, I know Diego, and I've also seen Ben's been playing with them as too. Ben really likes them. Diego's pretty happy with them. I have no reason why they wouldn't work. They seem super easy to use and super tough. We haven't run any trials yet. I did talk to Diego about it this winter, and our time got away from us. So, but yes, we're currently using Mega Nets as well. They work well. The Sumo Soaker does look pretty bulletproof. I think that is probably the biggest problem with the Mega Nets is they are plastic, and they do kind of give some problems. So, yeah, absolutely. I think there's some definitely profitability there, and I think that'll be really nice. They seem they'll last forever. We use North Country Organics fertilizer. How sure available in you? Yeah, there's actually a dealer not too far from us in North Country, so we could use North Country. We could also use Fertrell. Fertrell is really close as well. There's a dealer an hour from us. Is it Creek Feeds?
Oh, is it up in Sydney?
Yes, that's where what's his name sold out to. Aaron sold out to them.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's what I understand. Yes. So yeah, we have both those dealers nearby. We also we're dealer actually for ourselves for Morgan Compost. So they carry a tremendous list of a lot of these items as well. So we can get a lot of things from them as well. And actually what we're doing right now with a lot of our production, not our strawberries because it just would be overkill, but of a lot of our production, we are using a pre-mix from Morgan Composting that is majority a rough compost with nutrition mixed into it. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop for everything. Like we put down 3 buckets per bed or 4 buckets per bed, and that's our fertility and nutrients as well. Well, it's our carbon and our nutrients as well. And then we'll throw down some peat moss sometimes, depending on the organic matter in that house. But yeah, so far we really haven't been using it long enough to give you any good or bad feedback, but we will let you know how that works. So yeah, but great question or great comment there too. All right, folks, we've got about 14 minutes left. If you guys do have more questions, feel free to drop those in. and we can keep going for a few minutes longer.
Then the frog really must go to bed.
Yes, the frog really must go to bed. Yes, yes. Patrick's saying, how big of a space is ideal for a section of beds? Great question. So strawberries can bear, I mean, I'd say a good organic field, you're looking at 8,000 to 10,000 pounds per acre, so 4 to 5 tons. Some of the organic folks, the conventional folks can go pretty much a lot higher than that. Last year, I think we picked about 7,500, 8,000 pounds, and we did about an acre. So we get right in there. I mean, it's not like we have bad production. Again, we picked probably picked almost 1,000 pounds today. So all we really need is, but we're doing 1.5 acres this year. So we should have a lot.
It
But
feels like we have a lot of berries.
yeah, I mean, we do. But compared to like a friend of mine, they do 6 acres of berries. And so compared to that, we feel very much. I mean, we started very small. We started with 600-foot rows. And those plants were conventional plants that came from, remember I bought them off.
It was a great year.
Yeah, I mean, the production was fabulous.
Those plants were huge.
They were beautiful. Yes.
But they were a pain to pick.
Yeah, because they were so big.
And covered.
Yes. But then we kind of scaled from there. So the next year, I think we did.
We didn't do any U-pick that year.
Correct. But then next year, did we do the whole front field or did that in another field?
I think we did the whole front field in another field.
Okay. And then we went to 1 acre, and then we need another acre. And this year, we're doing 1.5 acres.
Yeah.
And next year, we're going to do 2 acres. Our blocks are 200 feet by 200 feet. So it's not quite 2 acres. It's probably more like 1.75 acres.
Just with the paths and stuff.
Well, your paths and your ends and all that stuff. So yeah, we're not quite the 2 acres. This year,
It's still a lot of berries.
it's still a lot of berries. But we are on 5-foot centers. So some people are on 6-foot centers, and so they have basically bigger paths. A 5-foot centers, I mean, to me, it's as enough of a path as you need. You can't quite fit a stroller down it, but we don't promise stroller access.
Some people their wagon down it today, and they did fine.
And they did fine. I just think 6 foot to me wastes space. And if you think about the entire field, you're wasting about 12.5% of your entire field. Because with a 6-foot bed, you're not getting 3 rows on the bed. You're still typically doing 2. In fact, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but my Facebook stories feed or Reels feed is now almost entirely strawberry videos. I mean, I'm getting videos from Europe. I'm getting videos from Baja, California.
There was this video I saw of California, and these guys are literally running.
Yes. Because they're piecework.
Yeah.
They're piecework.
I'm like, oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Anyway, but in some of these, so again, I'm always, everyone's like, oh, you're looking at, I am looking at the systems, the processes, how they're planting, the spacing, the picking technique, the tools.
Their beds were like,
oh yes. Yeah. They pull beautiful beds in California, but they have the equipment and they have the tractors and the horsepower.
Sure.
But a lot of those, I was seeing a couple fields that were single rows about every 6 feet. So my only thing there is they either are trying to use a commercial, like a robot to harvest, or they are dealing with high disease pressure and trying to get a lot of airflow between. But otherwise, my question would be that you're wasting 2/3 of your space. So that is for us. We're on 5-foot centers. They work really, really well. I might go a touch wider. The reason we may go a touch wider is we want to continue to use teff between our rows. But if you plant it too early, then you have to mow it, and we don't have a good way to mow it. So if I go slightly wider, I can fit a little tiny flail mower on the front of a BCS, and we could just once a year go through with that, and I think we would be fine. So yeah, spacing does come down to the thing. We did half on white and half on black plastic. I would say I think we're probably going to overall get better yield off black plastic, because the crowns had more time to mature in the fall. So I think next year, if we can plant early enough, we'll do as much white plastic as possible. Keeps the soil cooler, keeps the berries cooler, which can be, today was 82 degrees. Now, thankfully, there was not a lot of sun. So we didn't have a lot of heat on the beds. But if we can keep the beds cool, the strawberries are going to be much, much happier. And it slows down ripening. This time of year, you're fighting to try to slow the ripening down because you sometimes you just can't pick fast enough.
Well, we can't.
Yes. Yeah.
Must have tools or supplies.
So again, a good mulch layer. So we're pulling a Rainflow 2550, which is a very solid model. The newer models are a little bit more fancy and nicer, but the 2550 is a solid machine, and we are running 4-foot plastic with that, double drip, and just doing regular conventional plastic. We're not doing any of the bioplastics. We tried to mess with the bioplastics and we found they did not work.
They were
Yes, they were a disaster.
and not just because I was helping with plastic lighting,
Yes, they were.
which we know is not my strong suit.
Yes, actually, that's a good point. Is having a really good plastic guy like Caleb. Man, we've got our kind of farm manager. Caleb is a dream to lay plastic with because that guy knows how to lay plastic.
He didn't come knowing how to
No,
lay
we trained
plastic.
him. He again. A lot of some people just get
I
it.
think, yeah, I do think, I don't know why I get other things, but not that. I was not.
She's way more helpful in the store than I am. So give me a tractor
Other strengths.
and some plastic any day. We do pre-bed. So we put down fertilizer and we pre-bed at the same. That's when we basically pre-bed, put our fertilizer down, come back, disconnect the fertilizer hopper, and then just lay plastic. And so when we're laying plastic, the beds are there already. We really don't have to focus on that. We just focus on making sure we're driving super straight and laying a good field of plastic or pulling good plastic, as they say.
Pulling good plastic. And sometimes the sides don't come up right. And like, I don't know.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, you have to have a really observant because again, when you're facing forward, you cannot be looking back, can't be checking your thing. You're just looking forward. Unless we had auto steer, and it's out there. It's out there for our size tractors. And again, I would probably, if we decided to triple our size, go like 6 acres of berries, I probably would be the guy that bought the auto steer so I could have those perfectly straight rows.
The irrigation is drip, so
Yeah.
it gets laid with plastic.
Well, now in the fall, when we're setting plants, we do overhead.
Oh, that's
We do
true.
throw overhead out there for the first 4 to 5 weeks to
Yeah.
get the plants established, and then we rely on mostly drip. But we do double drip. So in all honesty, if we knew a good rain was coming through and could get the plants in, we probably wouldn't even have to do any overhead irrigation. But yeah, we're running double drips, and also we have an injector in the field too, so we can throw in our fertility that way. So, all right. So yeah, that is strawberries. What surprises have been in the field? Well, what has been the surprise for like the store and strawberry season? Oh, that's interesting because we're running 2 locations. Because we're running 2 locations, there is always a percentage that if you're not on the home farm, they're not checking out where the slushy machine is right behind them, they're just leaving the field. So we did run these little cards, and I could probably pull those up. Our marketing guys did these wonderful little beautiful cards. And they definitely did make a difference.
Well, just trying to push people, because a lot of times what happens is you get done with picking, you come into the store, you're hot, you're waiting in line, you're milling around, and so you inevitably are like,
Buy a slushie.
well, not just a slushie, maybe a bag of lettuce, maybe a loaf of bread, maybe just a slushie, but
Yes. Okay, so again, our target is moms. So
you say it so aggressively.
well, it's you want to be really clear on who your target market is. So yes, we got this is the little thing we put out for them.
It's pretty cutesified.
Yes, it's cutesified because again, it's strawberry picking. If we were, but this is the back of it. Talks about like the pavilion we have. They can come sit down in the different things, the plants, the fresh eggs.
Gluten-free loaf of bread.
What?
That's a gluten-free loaf of sourdough.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Um,
We don't sell them.
so anyway, one of the things I did tell them is I wanted our fresh egg sign in there because right now eggs are still pretty expensive in a lot of supermarkets, and we actually are one of the places with the cheapest eggs in the area. So I did want to pull people in. They see the price of our eggs and they come back. So we actually have now. I mean, it's interesting. Like, there's definitely a couple local people that really didn't shop with us until the egg price, and then all of a sudden now they shop with us regularly, just about eggs. So anyway, but yeah, This I think we probably had 50 get redeemed today,
Yeah.
which means 50 people drove from the other field, came over here, and used that to check out. So
that was just a way to try to get.
Yeah, because again, when they come to the farm, bring the strawberries in the store, they will buy eggs, salad, plants, flowers, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we definitely would know, again, our ticket sale is gone down. We did look at the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And our ticket sale is down because the other field are just buying strawberries. They're not buying any stuff.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And we talked about moving stuff over there. It's just kind of like a hassle and it's hot.
We wouldn't want to move. Cool. We don't want to really move the whole store.
No, but I'm like, even if we just took like a bunch of boxes of shortcakes or something over there, would they sell? I don't know. It could be worth doing on a Saturday or a Friday when it's really busy.
Yeah, or just like a slushing machine. We do have 2 slushing machines.
Yeah, I need to put the farm to bed.
Okay. Well, folks, you guys have a great rest of your night. Fun hanging out, answering your questions. And we will be relaunching the strawberry course this fall. I think, again, if Sandra doesn't want to release it right now, we will get it to you so you guys can get that information and start your own strawberry empire.
But be warned, you will be like crazy busy for weeks, and then it'll be over.
Yes.
And we've talked about that. What if we were just a strawberry farm? What if we were just insanely busy for like 6 to 8 weeks?
Yeah.
And then
well, I mean, your cash flow sucks because if you have a bad strawberry year, you're bad. If you have a good strawberry year, you're going to Vegas.
Really? No, we're not going.
No.
You and I are not going.
No, but some people would. But yeah, no, we have, again, our farm is strawberry focused.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a strawberry farm, strawberry focused, but I mean, we grow a ton of other crops too. So, yeah. All right, folks, you all have a great night, and we'll check in with you next month.